everyone, and welcome to another exciting match of Jet Set Radio Future Bingo Season 4. As always, I'm AceBatOS, printing Ever 404 since January 2022. Today we have another exciting match where we have in the purple corner the Jet Graffiti professional themselves, Naestrinus, going up against the red corner where we have the newbie out to make a name for themselves, Kev360. And today, in the commentator's box, we have the duo that thought the Rokoku police spoke in pig Latin. It's Ekla, Precious, and Nago.
Hello, welcome back to JSRF Bingo. It's us again.
Sis on this Island podcast,
Episode
featuring
2.
featuring JSRF Bingo.
There's a game happening today. It's Nay versus Kev. That's what's happening. I'm already delusional. Like, I'm already losing it. I'm sorry.
I got you. I'll do
so
the intro
tired.
for you. I can do this for you. So this
Hey,
is
we're
Nay
gonna
versus
vote for
Kev.
you.
Yeah. Oh, alright. Let's just actually look at the board instead. Skydown Graffiti, Chicago Graffiti. We got a weird bingo in row or column 5 that's like 4 Kogane and then STPB special, which is kind of slow, but it's really area concentrated, so that might pop up later on in the game. We got Fast Chuo Souls, we got Dogen Pass Statue, Top of Station. I don't know, there's like, I think there's a lot of, there's some fast Kogane stuff that I think is like probably worth looking at. But kind of depends, because it's not really the best board for like a super fast start. So I don't know.
I have not looked at the board yet. I'm glad that you're here to carry me through this.
It's fine. It's fine. Like if I was the players, obviously, you know, who knows. But if I was one of the players, I would like just kind of pick an area, go for fast souls, and then like kind of respond depending on what my opponent is doing. Maybe there's a better play.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how this match plays out, because we have Kev, who is still very much learning the game, and then we have Nay, who, prior to the season hadn't practiced a lot, but has just an ample amount of raw skill. So I'm curious to see, like, because Kev is clearly focusing a lot on bingo specific knowledge. So I'm wondering, like, maybe that'll be his in this game against Nay, who doesn't necessarily kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not really necessarily bingo specific knowledge that Nay uses to win. Like, they have a lot of raw game skill.
Yeah, they just use their general knowledge of the game and having played MPG and stuff to just kind of like figure it out, like while playing.
Kind of just be effective wherever they are on the map. You know, like just having that game knowledge and that skill. So it's going to be, I think, a clash of styles. I think it's still Nay favored, just given that experience, versus Kev, who is by far the newest player that we have, both to bingo and the game in the tournament. But if our players are ready, we might actually be able to get started soon. But that would also require me to perhaps go into the bingo sync room and see what's going on.
Yes. I could give since we didn't do a proper intro, I'll give a quick introduction on these players, just like more formally. So this is Kev versus Nay. These players are both I think 0-2 right now. Nay lost to. Did Nay only play Ace Bats, or did Nay play somebody else?
Nay's only played Ace Bats so far.
Yeah,
they had
and
a week
then
off last week.
Yeah, and Kev played me and Krabby. So both of these players are winless. One of these players is going to come out with their first W. These are definitely, like, I guess. I mean, obviously Kev is the player that's kind of learning, and Nay, having lost to Ace Bats, like, is kind of like. So Nay's like kind of battling to try and, you know, like needs like every win that they can get at this point, and getting a Kev win can definitely like help Nay potentially still make it into playoffs, because Nay basically has to beat one of Kev or two of Kev, me, and Krabby to make it through into playoffs, and Honestly, beating me and Krabby is a thing that Nay, in theory, could do. Like, Nay has the knowledge to make it work, but getting a Kev win definitely makes it a lot easier, because then, you can lose to either me or Krabby and still potentially make it into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it's an uphill struggle, I think, when you drop your first game this season. But, yeah, there's still wins to be had. Anything can happen, as we know well by now. The specifics of 1v1 are really interesting to me, because there can be so much of like a specific matchup difference, like just based on how people play the game differently. In 2v2 it's less of a factor because you have 2 players on each team, and they have their own individual styles of play, but that comes together to some kind of like net neutral overall, in terms of like the style of the team, unless you have, for example, Team Fortress, where you have 2 players who just have a very similar style of play, and that kind of manifests in the team. You often see kind of a 2v2 team take on one player's style more dominantly, I would say. Like Aces teams historically have tended to work with that kind of strategic approach to the game. But in 1v1 it is really very much down to player versus player, and those skill differences or knowledge differences.
Ooh, it seems like Kev. Oh, they're both having a bit of a skill issue making it out. Kev's going the wrong way. Is Kev going dark side? Where does he want to go? He's going. Okay, he's going dark side.
Kev's going to Benton apparently. That's
All right. Well,
I don't hate it, but it was a bit of a strange start to the game.
Yeah, it's a bit. Yeah, as I said, like this board is kind of weird. Like you don't really know what exactly you want to do, because there isn't like like a nice super stacked area at the start that you can just like that's like so obvious you have to go there first. So it's kind of like you have to react to what your opponent chooses to do. The column 5 bingo is actually a lot better than I thought, because there's 3 Kibo souls in there, and then SDPP special, which is like really slow, and an FRC trick. So it's like it could conceivably be a bingo you go for. But Nay seems to just be going for top of station, and oh no, she is gonna go deeper into Kogane, while Kev is going for the SDPP tape, going for special. And
this is kind of a slow start to the game for Kev, but there's special on the board. There is special on the board.
It's a special.
Yeah, this is not a very strong start to the game, but maybe he's got a read on the board here, in terms of respecting what Nay is doing and just going for, honestly, strategically a strong square, right? It's the top right corner. It immediately cuts off 3 bingos if he picks it up. And given, we're looking at a relatively decent Kogane stack in both the row 1 and the column 5, it's not the worst square in terms of value. That was some cool movement there by Nay to pick up the sewer center structure. Sewer's expert Naestrinus in the house.
Yeah,
that was so freaking cool, and it just kind of flew under the radar. But that was
the glitchy wall rides
really
are very scary. I'm very surprised that somebody would go for that. But I guess the IL experience from Nay shining through there.
When you've spent so much time in the sewers, you get used to it, I guess.
Kev is going the wrong way. So I think, it's going for special first, or at least unlocking like special first, kind of makes sense, just because like it could allow you later on to like bait Nay into going to dark side. Like Nay gets Kibo, gets FRZ, and then goes to SDPP, thinking maybe that they can still get it, like still get the bingo. But Kev is taking way too long to pick this up.
This is
unlock it.
All things considered for SDPP, as far as unlock souls go, special is one of the fastest by far. But this has taken him longer than it should have. The fact that he fell off the whatever this is, the UFO, and then had to wait for the UFO to come back down, because I guess he doesn't know the backup way to get there, or the other way of getting there. That's going to cost him a lot. Now we have to deal with the crane here. That's not gonna work, buddy.
Please. Okay, good.
Okay, he's still fine. He hasn't fallen all the way down. At what point do you just bail on this square? I think it's if you fall here. What else is there on Darkside? Because Sky Dino looks pretty good, right? You've got the graffiti route. Oh, Kev, please just go to Sky Dino.
Just go Sky Dino. You can pick it up on your way back. I'm not sure if he knows.
Completely uncontested in Darkside right now. You don't need to pick up the square. It's honestly going to be easier for him to get there from leaving Sky Dino if he just dips and goes to Sky Dino now, right?
Yeah.
It'll be easier for him to get to special from the top of the level.
Does he know that? Does he know how to do that jump?
Yeah, that's the thing. This is what we're saying about game knowledge, right? It's just coming into Bingo, having not been running the game for terribly long and only having any % knowledge means there is just such a wealth of information that you're going to be missing and picking up bit by bit by bit. And you're learning one way to get to a soul that you didn't previously know about. The chances of doing that, I mean, you're gonna have to do that for the majority of the souls in the game, right? And then learning a second backup strat for every soul is it's asking a lot for someone who's so new to the game.
He made it! Let's go!
There we go, with 4 minutes and 55 seconds on the board, Kev picks up his first square. Now where does he go from here? Because Sky Dino looks pretty good if you're uncontested, right? And he is uncontested, and you should well know that. You've got graffiti points special in kind of a chunk in the middle of the board there. So strategically relatively strong, plus you get the extra points from graffiti. I feel like if you're playing Avoidant as he is here, you just take the 5 points uncontested.
Ooh, where is he going? The thing, this is what, it kind of surprised me that Kev was gonna go to Darkside because it's Sky Dino graffitis on the board, and I don't know if he knows how to do it. So like, I feel like that's maybe something you want to just like give, like kind of give, or
it's
at least
a pretty punishing route.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, we've talked about it previously. Sky Dino is probably the hardest single level in the game in terms of it, like everything that it asks of you. So it's not necessarily surprising that Kev doesn't want to go for it. It is surprising to me that he chose SDPP Special as his first square on the board and then decided not to go to SDP or to Sky Dino. Dark Wide pretty quick there. Probably could have gone for that first.
There's some good Highway 0 squares still on this side of the level if he wants to go for that.
What do we got? Yeah, we got 3 in Highway 0 with points and Trash Pit. Pretty easy. Yeah, there's a lot more that he could have done on this side of the board that he didn't do.
Oh, everyone's surprised you can do that jump to the highway boostless. Yeah, you can do that boostless. Did you not know that? That's just, yeah, you can do that boostless. The only reason people do it boosted is because it's like faster and stuff. Like it allows you to do like a shuffle like on the highway and like fast out.
Fair enough.
All right, look at this. 7th Days and Krabby don't know things.
It's Kev's Zuma brain, you see.
Kev is just too fucking intelligent. Like, we think that we're so smart, but Kev actually has this, like, this fresh, like, perspective to Bingo that we just, like, we, with our boomer brains, just cannot fathom.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, since Kev has been running the game, he's had a very different approach to the game than a lot of other people. And, maybe that's what we need. Maybe we just need that fresh perspective, as you said. But like we've been talking about Kev a lot this game. Nay is taking everything in Kogane and doing so pretty stylishly.
Very
everything in Kibo. But then again, it kind of goes back to what I was saying about Kev's first square of the game being SDPP special, because that's a stacked Kogane column 5 bingo, right? And just going straight to that means that you're not going to get bingoed on in the first 5 minutes of the game. And then there is, let me see, Sua's Air as well on the row 1, which he blocks. He also blocks the diagonal, which had center structure. So, perhaps reading if Nei's going to Kogane, that one square is kind of valuable for denying any potential bingos in 3 directions.
It's a very important square. That square actually is quite key. It's just unfortunate he took so long to pick it up because it was definitely it's a good just tactical choice.
And honestly, for Kev in this game to have kind of gone into Darkside, into Bentoncho, picked up the squares that he picked up, and then dipped and gone to Shibuya-cho to pick up what's here. He's covering 2 areas of the map, not fully, not thoroughly, But he's covering 2 areas of the map while Ney is spending forever in Kogane. And yes, Ney's getting a load of points in Kogane.
Oh, Kev doesn't know. Kev doesn't know which soul he's trying to unlock. He thinks that Tricks 30 is grind 10.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you usually unlock.
He just
unlocked it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So he knows that he's at the wrong one. Okay. Okay.
You usually unlock grind when you're unlocking tricks, so I can see that confusion coming through. But fortunately, he knows now.
Thank you, Smilebit, for like adding those cutscenes, because otherwise Kev would be down horrendous currently.
Yeah.
There's a non-zero chance that if that cutscene doesn't exist, Kev picks up grind or Tricks 30, and we have to like yell at him in the chat that he picked up the wrong soul.
Yeah, where's he going?
He's going for South Hayashi. There's a bunch of defaults on this. Choinshu is a really good call because there's a lot of like there's grind 10, there's South Hayashi, there's Cubby, there's a bunch of stuff here.
Yeah, I mean, like actual mechanical gameplay notwithstanding, this is a pretty decent start to the game for Kev. Like strategically, knowing there's no point in going head to head against Ney, just kind of going and taking the priority squares across the board to stop him from losing the game in the first 5 minutes, I think is not a bad read. With a bit better execution, he might be, a little bit closer in this game, but definitely seeing it's a heavy Kogane board and then going everywhere but Kogane works for him. Yeah. And like we've talked about like win conditions a lot, right? There are different types of win conditions in Bingo. You can specifically, you can take the Yomsa approach and just beat everyone to everything. Or you can play to your opponent and play to their tendencies, and play to your own strengths and your own tendencies, right? And in this case, Kev is knowing that if he goes head to head with Ney, he's going to lose. But he's 6-6 right now in the first 10.5 minutes of the game. This is by far the closest game that Kev's had so far.
Definitely. Yeah, I feel like Ney's like playing this a bit like conservatively, or rather like a bit safe, because they're like going for FRZ tricks, even though like the bingo's 100% gone. But I mean, yeah, like Kev's definitely doing well, and like technically Kev has a kind of really weird column 3 bingo open. I mean, going for that is I think the play, but it's technically on the board.
If Ney continues the way that they've been playing, they'll pick up Suez Air 4 now, I would imagine, because they are just doing a full sweep of Kogane. And this is interesting because I think we rarely see players go for like full clears of areas. And I'm not sure if this is just Ney's particular style, or if it's, because it's a tendency we tend to see from like newer bingo players, or those who aren't quite as like strategically minded. It's just to go to an area where they're confident and pick up everything that's there. Yeah. And we see other players, and I would say the majority of players now have a pretty good like tendency to know what's valuable in an area and pick that up, and then move on to the next area.
All right. Ney missing the sewer climb means that Ney is not going to go for any of that. Actually, I just realized that that Kev also has column 4 still.
Yeah, so he's in Hikage right now, where there's grind 20 points as well. Oh, sorry, that's highway 0 points. I can't read. There's Hikage grind and graffiti, which strategically neither of them are particularly useful for Kev right now. I would honestly, like, if you're in Hikage, graffiti is probably more valuable than grind, but Hikage graffiti is a nightmare. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, so I would imagine that it's not going to be a focus for him. It's two very rough graffiti routes for Kev. Being a newer player, like Hikage is definitely one of the hardest routes in the game, and Skydowner is. I don't necessarily say it's the hardest route, but it's definitely the most punishing.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like this, like, at least, I feel like this game is kind of similar to the game I played against Ace-Bats, where like the board, like you can see that the board is kind of like subtly hinting that you need to do graffiti at some point, even though like one of them is really long. But like at least if I'm Nay, I feel like I know that Kev probably isn't gonna do graffitis, and if he is gonna do graffitis, it's gonna take like a very long time. So I feel like if you're Nay, like you can kind of play around that, like, and just go for like the souls and try to just take all the souls, and then you just beat them like straight up in graffiti because you know the route better.
Yeah, I think this has to be a points game for Nay right now because there are no bingos on the board left for Nay. Other than the top left to bottom right diagonal, but like the Sewers Tricks, Sky Dino points, and Highway 0 points, and they're leaving Highway 0 now, so maybe they haven't seen that. So I think it very much comes down to Nay beating Kev to graffiti in this game, which is likely, but to be fair, Sky Dino graffiti and Hikage graffiti, two different sides of the map. Hikage, very long route. That does give Kev a fair amount of time to pick up squares elsewhere, so this game is still very close.
I think with the fact that, okay, Nate, just go up normally. Please just go up normally. Okay,
that should hit it.
Yeah, that should be good, I think. Yeah, okay. So how many points do we have left on this board? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we have 2 graffiti squares, so it's 14 points, and Nay's up 1 point. So like, Nay can basically like do sweeping Sky Dino is probably like the fastest you can like get a lot of points still on this board.
It puts them at 1 point to win if they sweep Sky Dino and they're uncontested.
Yeah, and like, unless Kev realizes this, like Nay could probably just sweep Sky Dino. Yeah, Nay's just doing the graffiti route, so Nay should be able to. Oh, okay. You're doing the fast route. Okay, that was slightly scary, but yeah, you can do the fast route where you fall down. I find it extremely scary, and I would never want to do it. But you know what? Swag, good shit. But yeah, you can get Sky Dino, get the two souls, and then you can go to Highway 0 probably because Kev's probably not going to realize that he needs to get both of those squares so that Nate can't win. So as long as Nate just executes well on this graffiti route and the Sky Dino unlock souls, should be able to lock this game up purely just thanks to the knowledge that Kev isn't going to go for the graffiti squares.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing here is...
But it depends on Kev going to Highway 0, and Kev is going to Dark Side, so this plan might not work out.
If Kev reads this right and goes to Highway 0, there's still a chance for him in this game.
Yeah, he has there is a bingo still on the board in column 1 as well, actually. This board is actually really weird with the way that Nay is...
yeah, like the way that Nay so heavily prioritized Kogane has left, like, Kev pretty open to do anything else on the board. And that's given him a lot of options, or at least it's given him a lot of contingency, where he just doesn't outright lose the game, because he's been able to go to places and pick up priority squares to keep himself in the game. And that does, it makes the win condition not necessarily certain here for Nay, because they don't win the game off of just Sky Dino. And the quickest way for them to win the game after Sky Dino would be Highway 0. Kev's in Highway 0.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious to see how quickly Nay responds once Kev reveals that he's in Highway 0. Because, if I'm right, they haven't revealed in Sky Dino yet. So Kev doesn't know that they're in Sky Dino. So a lot of things could happen here. Like, Kev, after doing Highway 0, should surely know that Nay is in Sky Dino. And then Nay, seeing that Kev has been in Highway 0, knows that there are other things on the board that may take priority over completely sweeping Sky Dino. Just because at that point, like, if you sweep Sky Dino,
oh Nay, please, just
okay.
Oh, Nay.
But if you sweep Sky Dino, Kev definitely gets out of Darkside ahead of you, and then you're doing the coin flip game of, going to the right area to pick up your last square, and if you just end up flipping the wrong side of the coin continually, and Kev just gradually sniping you bit by bit by bit to everything, it's very unlikely, right? But it could still happen.
Ooh,
so I feel like there's more
special and graffiti. I like that.
Swag. Yeah, like
really cool.
I feel like there's definitely more like easier ways to confirm your win than completely sweeping Sky Dino here, but I feel like the way that Nei's been playing, they're just gonna clear it out.
So let me do the math. So let's say Kev gets the bingo. So he gets 15, I think, because it's 3 plus 4. So he has 15. Nei has 13, but Nei is gonna be out of Sky Dino first, and then so it's 15, 13, and then it's sewers. The 2 sewers squares left.
Oh, Kev's leaving. He's not going for soda.
He's not going for soda? Where is he going?
Maybe he just really, really, really wants to get out of Darkside right now. This bingo is kind of important for him to win.
Yeah, I think he needs it. I mean, like, Nei, I mean, is he going to get tricks and then soda to, like, lock in the bingo?
But then, like, what if Nei now goes to Highway 0? Right? But there's no way, right? There's no way that they go to Highway 0. They can't make that.
If Nei goes to Highway 0, it's either, like...
It's either the best read of all time or the worst.
But, like, what is the... Why, like... Yeah, the big play was, to lock in the bingo, and then you just get one of the sewer souls, and then you win. But, like... Okay, so where's Nei going? Because Nei probably is panicking a little bit. Or not panicking, but going to Dogen.
So Nei's not going, okay.
Okay.
So, like, there's a lot of, like, mental gymnastics that you have to do to figure out exactly what's happening between these two players right now, like, given the information they have of each other's movements. I think, actually, like, both of them leaving Darkside definitely benefits Kev here, even if he's giving up on the bingo. But the elephant in the room is still that Hikage Graffiti is on the board.
It's just, like, the problem is this relies really heavily on Nei reacting to Dogen, like, to Kev picking up Dogen tricks in, like, the worst way. Because otherwise, Nei just beats Kev to soda. Like, that's the big problem here. Because, yeah, Nei's going to go for the tape, obviously. Like, this makes perfect sense. Like, if you're Nei, there's no world where you think that Kev is not doing soda unlock. Or rather, or he could be going for sewers, but, like, there's no world where he's doing, like, you can't go soda, basically. Like, there's no justifiable reason to go to soda unless your brain is just too large. So Kev, did Kev get tricks?
Unlock tricks?
I'm not sure if he just unlocked tricks.
I think he just unlocked grind.
Okay.
Did
he? Please tell me he... Okay, he checked it. He knows he has not unlocked
He's
tricks.
slowing down. Can he get it?
Okay, there it is. Okay. Alright, he's gonna go for it. Okay, here he goes. Please. Okay, his management's good.
He knows that he can get back as well.
He goes back.
I taught him this.
Mark the square.
That's my son.
Okay, Nei marks a square. Does he? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nei sees it and then leaves. Like, yeah. Like, this is. So now Nei goes for soda, and I guess it's now just gonna be a race.
Kev, go into Shibuya, please.
I presume it's gonna be a race. No, Kev, you're going the wrong way. Go, Kev. No, it's okay. So
yeah.
What
I
does
think
Kev
that decides it. Yeah. It would have been so close.
I mean, so what? I mean, Kev could go for sewers and then, like...
What if Kev goes Hikage Graffiti now?
I mean, it's not... No, because Nei just goes soda and then does sewers, right? So the best thing you can do now is go sewers.
Yeah, I mean, Hikage Graffiti is so long. If he'd pre-sprayed some of it when he was there previously, it might not be, like, completely over.
Yeah,
he's going sewers.
He's going sewers. He's going sewers.
Oh my god.
He's making the only play you could still make, which is go sewers, try and hope that you can, like, collect stuff fast enough, and then do Hikage.
He can't win unless he gets everything at this point, I think, so
he has to do... Where is he going?
No, Kev, commit, please.
Do you want to go Hikage? I mean, I guess, but, like, Nei is gonna know at some point that you're gonna be in Hikage. Because, like, I mean, I don't know. You know what?
These two are playing, like, 4D chess or one-dimensional checkers. Like,
I think
there's no in between.
I think the thing is with commentating like the end game of 1v1 is that it's really hard to like understand exactly what's happening, because like it's like a lot of the end game is just like mind games.
Yeah,
so,
like they are functioning off of incomplete information. And obviously we have all the information and we know, mathematically the correct plays, but we can't assume that the players do, right? Based on the information that they have, based on their own kind of assessment of win conditions, like they're making, I assume, the best decisions that they can think of making given the situation. Kev starting left side here, that's the right place to start because it gives you the cans, right? Yeah.
You start right side. That's you start right side. That's the route you want to enter with. You want to enter with 30 cans and go right side. It's the best way to avoid a can crisis.
Well, this is a problem.
Yeah, because also because he didn't. Yeah, he goes the wrong way on this billboard because you go the other way. Did he do all graffiti at the top? I don't think so. Did he?
No, he missed the lodge at the very top, I think.
Yeah, like.
So he has to come back up again. Yeah.
You can figure out the canagement in Hikage if you just like enter and leave like once. It just is slow, but like you can figure out like the canagement a little bit. Like there's definitely ways to like
Kev, buddy,
salvage
please.
it. Okay, so
Kev.
This is the last thing that I was wondering what Kev is gonna do in response to Soda unlock being done, and he doesn't do anything. He does not go to sewers. He's going to continue doing Hikage graffiti, which means that. Well, the problem is, what does Nae think is happening? Because
I think Nae has to know that Kev's in Hikage right now.
I don't think so.
He marked Dogen, and it's been 4 minutes.
Yeah, but Nae might also just think that like they just beat Kev to Soda unlock. I mean,
that's true.
It doesn't really matter, I think, because objectively you would go sewers and try to just get one of Air and Trix 45 and just wait for Kev to pick one of them and then you pick up the other. So you win that way.
But has Nae done the maths is the real question. Does Nae know that they only need one square to win right now, or do they go to Hikage?
I don't even think that. I mean, to be honest, and thinking the position Nae's in, I don't even think you really have to do the math. I think it just like. I mean, to be fair, also if you look at the board, like there are no bingos or anything. Like if you look at this board, you're like, I have 14 points. Kev has 10. There are 3 squares on the board. There are 5 points on the board. I think Nae could figure it out. I think this is not like. I mean, Nae's going sewers, so I think it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
And like in this situation, like you just want to make sure you don't like choke the climb, and then you just like make sure that you pick up one of Air 4 or Trix.
This has been a really interesting game strategically, because Kev was in this for the longest time.
Yeah.
And his approach is definitely not how other people play the game, but it worked out for him really well. Reloading the level. Okay. Playing his gum, breaking the rules. I'm joking, but it's it is what it is.
I mean, is it the rules or is it just for the purpose of fun production?
It's for the purpose of fun production. Yeah. Kev was in this game for a very long time, playing a very different kind of game to what we're used to. And honestly, I think this works against Nae. I don't think this works against anyone else. Just given that Nae doesn't have the same kind of level of bingo strategy as yourself or Krabby, for example, or Bats. I think you can get away with playing this style against Nae.
Yeah, true, fair. But yeah, Nae has nailed the climb, which means that this game is... Oh my god! Alright, never mind. That was... I have never seen someone fall down like that. But luckily for Nae, it doesn't really matter since, Kev isn't in sewers.
Fine.
But that was an interesting way to fall down. How has Kev's graffiti routes been? I haven't actually.
He's in can hell right now.
Well, this is the problem about not knowing which way you have to go. Like you have to go right side. Like otherwise, you're in like permanent can crisis.
Yeah, well, he's gonna learn the hard way, I suppose.
Oh, he doesn't know about the triangles. Yeah, the ones in the corners. Yeah, those are definitely kind of weird because it's like, yeah, because on the left they're like blue cans and health cans, and then on the right side they're all triangles and like 10 cans. And if you don't know that those are there, then like, yeah, it's kind of all right movement. It's fine.
Yeah, another really interesting thing about this game is like Kev has had a pretty like solid strategy for this game specifically, and he's been hindered, I think, by like movement and then game knowledge. And like, I want to go back and watch this game entirely from Nae's perspective because I've seen chat popping off about Nae's movement in this game. It's like just the biggest clash of styles.
Yeah, Nae's been doing a very good job.
Yeah, like whenever I get a moment to look at Nae's screen, I'm like, whoa, damn, that's some great movement.
There it is. With Air 4, Naestrinus takes game 1 over Kev. Now I guess Nae, if Nae wants to, can pick up tricks, and then Kev could probably just like mark Kage if he wants to. But that's gonna be that. It's gonna be like 16-13.
16-13, yeah, a lot closer than any of Kev's previous games. And the first game win of the season for Nae. Remarkably close, I think, and I'm really curious to see how the next game plays out, just based on what kind of board we get. Because if Kev can continue to play that kind of avoidant style and just try and shut down bingos early, a different board could give him a win. You know, if their board isn't as graffiti dependent, well, I feel like this one, Kev needed a graffiti, you know, and it just happened to be Sky Dino and Hikage, which is not friendly to beginners. But like different graffiti on a different board with this style against Nae, I think it definitely worked.
Yeah, because Kev, is just not a bing or a graffiti enthusiast. It really means that like he has to get a bingo at some point, or like destroy Nae on like the normal squares, and it's just like there's just nothing that you can really do in this position. I think something interesting about this game is that it kind of shows like how playing to your opponent is like kind of important, because I think Nae kind of just went into this game like kind of picking up squares and just trying to like play nice conservative safe bingo, but how that can kind of like cause you to potentially like just kind of lose, kind of get owned by Kev, who's just kind of going for squares and not really worrying too much about like reading your opponent, instead of just like, I'm going to get these squares because these squares are good and this blocks a bingo, and I'm not going to like overly like analyze the decisions I make. And that's honestly good sometimes. I feel like in bingo, like because of the pressure of a bingo game, you can often like overthink the decisions you make, and like you feel like, oh, I need to avoid this and this and that. Oh, but what if this happens and I need to do this? And then like you get into this weird like what you said before, where you start playing 5D chess while your opponent's playing 1D checkers, and you suddenly like, but then suddenly like you lose a game of, I don't know what a good metaphor is. You lose a game of League of Legends. I don't know what to say, but like, you know, you gotta not. Sometimes you just gotta think a little bit less hard and just get some squares and just play JSRF. You know, gotta get the squares. But we're going into the next board. Can the players see this yet, or are we only?
I haven't revealed yet. We're just getting ready for game 2. But the board is there. So what have we got this time around?
Those bingos are horrendous for Kev. Kibo, FRZ, SDPV. I think does he know? I feel like he might know a little bit about FRC graffiti, but I mean, I'm a big FRC graffiti enthusiast. I know Krabby is as well in the chat. Shout out to Krabby. But this board, so FRZ is pretty stacked. It has 2 defaults. There's a weird bingo in row 1, which is fast squares and SDPP graffiti. Which is absolutely absurdist and just like a parody of bingo. Then there is column 5, which is kind of similar in the sense that it's mostly fast squares, except STP grind set and FRC graffiti. This is a weird board.
Yeah, I mean, as I said at the end of the last game, a different board with different graffiti could be Kev's, you know, like, it could be the boon that he needs to take the game.
Yeah.
This is not that board.
I think if you do that, I think the only thing you can do in this at the start of this game is go Shibuya. I think there's not really another play. Like, go Shibuya Cho at least. Like, go Kage or Shibuya. I don't think there's really anything else you can do.
Yeah, I think with there's so few Shibuya Cho squares, but like all of them are pretty strong, right? You got Shibuya Grind 10, Top of Bus, Air 3 are all quick. Hikage Cubby is quick. Hikage Air is quick. It's like Hikage Grind and Chuo Points are like the only two on there that I would say are not necessarily worth rushing. But that's a really strong start to the game, and I'm really curious to see how the players read that and respond, given how Game 1 went, with Kev playing completely avoidant and just staying away from where Nae was. I don't know if he can get away with doing that this time.
Yeah, I think these two boards are honestly like a good illustration of how unfortunate playing bingo with limited knowledge is. Like, if you just don't know all the graffiti routes, like half the boards just suck. Like,
yeah,
because like there's too many areas in this game that have weird hard graffiti routes that like the dice will almost never roll in your favor unless you get,
and on a board like this, when it's 3 graffiti routes, it's, you know, like if it's 1 graffiti route and it's SDPP or something, it's like, okay, you know what, I'll let the opponent take that, I'll get a bingo or something, or I'll just get more squares while they're in SDPP for 10 minutes. But on this board, it's like, you're probably going to have to do graffiti, and none of these are friendly.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate, like, there are still possibilities, like, the lucky thing for Kev is that these graffitis are kind of in weird spots on the board, so, like, he could conceivably find, like, some bingos to potentially, like, help himself out, but
yeah,
it's still going to require a graffiti, probably, but
Row 2 doesn't look bad. I mean, it does have that Chuo Points, which is not strong early. And then there's column 4. I'm looking at these two kind of Kogane Shibuya bingos that have no graffitis on them. That, I mean, they don't suck, right? Bottom point tricks is quick. Kibo, you're going to commit to a lap, so, you know, with Boogie and Air are reasonable. Again, Chuo Points is kind of dependent on both of those bingos, which is, of all the Shibuya Cho squares, it's kind of one of the weakest ones. But, you know, at some point you've got to do something you're not going to enjoy doing in this game, right? It's going to be either taking a suboptimal square early in the game, it's going to be doing a graffiti route you don't want to do, or looking for a bingo that isn't necessarily as quick or as convenient as it could be. You know, it's going to be a hard game for Kev. Just immediately like looking at this board, but anything could still happen.
I mean, there's definitely, you can still make this work, and also, like, you can still, I don't know, like, Kibo graffiti, obviously, he's probably not gonna do, but, like, FRZ or SDPP graffiti are things he could conceivably maybe go for.
See, the issue I have with these graffiti routes for Kev is, like, they're gonna take such a long time, you know? It takes the best players 7.5, 8 minutes to do SDPP, right? You know, and for Kev, who is not someone who has any degree of practice with that route or knowledge of it, how long is it going to take him if he's forced into SDPP, you know?
Well, how I see this is that you basically put Nae, like, the best way you can do this is by just having Nae do a graffiti route and you do another one.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to pick your poison, right? Which of these 3 is he most confident with? Maybe he prioritizes that early. Because I'm sure looking at this board, he knows he's going to have to do graffiti.
Yeah.
And I think Kibo or FRZ... maybe FRZ is the play for Kev. But here we go. We're into game 2. Both of them into Shibuya, as expected. So we'll get to see them head-to-head this time around.
Boostless bus jump. No boostless from Nae. Uh-oh, Kev's going to hit it. Here he goes. Oh, he did. Oh, no, he misses it. Oh, he doesn't go.
That's rough.
Nae's going for tape. No, Kev's going for tape.
No, Kev?
Look at the board. Look at the board. Look at the board. No, look, Nae hasn't marked it. Nae hasn't marked it.
Okay, so that's a really... yeah, that's unfortunate for Kev, just kind of immediately bailing on Top of Bus. maybe now he goes back to it? I don't know. He doesn't even have the head start here anymore.
Does he know where grind spawns? He's going... Oh, he's going... Where is he going?
I think... Yeah, he thought grind was points.
No. What? That makes no sense. I'm so confused.
So Nay gets everything. That's rough.
Nay go for bus?
Nay on our screens is definitely ahead to bus.
Who's pushed up?
Oh, no!
Oh,
they both missed it!
Oh my god, please. Okay, he hit it too. That's
one more try.
He hits it.
Let's go, Kev.
Yes.
Let's go, Kev.
Let's go. Let's fucking go, Kev. Let's go.
Alright, that was a comedy of errors, but hey, Kev gets the square. So it's a 2-to-1 trade for Nay in Shibuya, and now they're both into Hikage. We're getting to see some blood this time around.
Yep. We got Cubby and we got 2 tape souls. Does Nay go for the tape? Ooh, Kev's gotta go for the tape. Okay.
This is interesting. Okay, so if Kev knows the quick air unlock, that's locked in for him, right? You get tape on left side, you unlock it, and you pick it up on left side, or is it on right side?
It's on left side. It's on left side. It's by the two the little weird cubby like in the corner with the 2 sprays. Okay.
Yes.
I think Kev knows where the Okay. I think Kev knows where. Yeah, he's doing it right. Goes over. Maybe does he want to grind unlock? What is he trying to do?
Maybe just boom a trick. Maybe just boom the trick.
I think he's trying to do grind as well. Ooh, this is scary. You have to go for.
He's got it.
Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, you have to go for quick.
Mark it.
No.
That's so close. That is monumentally close. That's really unfortunate for Kev. Just that first attempt not working out for him means he misses that. And now does he bail on Hikage? I'm curious because now, the 2 of them are pretty much neck and neck. Like, I think Kev had a boost, which Nay didn't have. So he gets out slightly ahead to the next part of Hikage.
Oh, Nay's going so slow, but Kevin just overshot. He overshoots this.
Kev just goes the wrong way, and now they're back.
80%. You know where you're supposed to go. It's 80%. Come on, Kev.
Head to head once more for grind and a default, I believe. Did Nay already get the default? Nay already got the default, so it's just grind.
Both going fast. Ooh. Oh, but what is Kev? Kev gonna try to fall like into it? Because Nay is doing this like.
This is a degree of precision movement here.
Okay.
Yeah, but Nay's just going to be able to pick that one up ahead. And here, yeah, you kind of see the full game knowledge coming through from Nay, just knowing the best way to unlock and pick up these souls quicker. Kev had that one little moment of having bingo knowledge for the Hikage air, and unfortunately flubbed it. That's rough, but yeah, in a potential that's 6 squares in this part of the map. 5-to-1 in the favor of Nay. Could have been closer.
He got on top of Bus. He got Bus Soul though. He got Bus.
He did. It's the most important soul in the game.
My goat. Okay, so where do you go now? You could go to Kogane, go for FRZ, or you could go Dark Side. It appears that they're both going to Dark Side.
Yes, more bloodshed, more head to head.
Kev having a good movement from Kev. Oh,
let's go, Kev.
But that's fine, no worries. You're Kev. Okay, he's going.
Changed his mind. He's going to Kogane.
I mean, that's not terrible. It's just you would like to see him decide earlier, but it's not a It's not a bad decision.
Okay, so now they split up. Kev, make up your mind. What's he going for here? What have we got in RDH?
Aaron Rith? No Aaron Rith? Okay.
Yeah, I think RDH is not worth it here.
Does he want to go FRZ?
There's definitely better stuff elsewhere on the board, I think.
I mean, there is a problem, which is that if he doesn't do FRZ, he gets bingoed on in column 5, which is the thing I pointed out before. The pretty good.
And potentially 5. The row 5 as well. I mean, that's less likely, but it is. It's still
is there
on the board.
World where he goes? Okay, he's going. Kibo? There's Boogie.
Has Nay revealed in... Yes, okay, so Nay's revealed in Darkside, so Kev maybe knows that he has a little bit of time to work with, as long as Nay doesn't immediately dip out of Darkside right now. So I guess he's just kind of hoping that they don't.
He's gonna do stall launch? Okay, sure. I'm not sure if I've ever seen Kev do stall launch. Let's see.
I've seen him do it in practice, I'm not sure I've seen him do it in a game.
Ooh, that's good.
But
Ooh,
he's pretty good with it.
For the fast, he did the fast setup. I mean, it's kind of risky. It's less consistent.
Oh no, and then he fell on the wall. He was going so well.
That's not an issue. It's the important part is that he gets the launch.
Yeah, the stall launch itself was good.
Yeah. I mean, he got it. I'm not sure if it was good, but he got it. You know what? Yes, he got it. He's good. So Nae's going for SDPP tricks grind. Okay, just going for the bingo. This makes sense. Then Kev's gonna go for Kibo stuff. Boogie air, I guess. Oh, and grind as well. Actually, it's pretty decent. It's pretty stacked. It's just that he still has to, at some point, you know, address the elephant in the room. That is FRZ graffiti.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Kev having to do graffiti this game. Like, there is, with that bingo threat now, fuzzy is essential, right? I mean, you can't give that up because you can't give up a bingo and a graffiti on at the same time.
Yeah.
Having some trouble with Boogie.
Boogles.
Is he going all the way around?
All the way around. Ooh, that jump is a bit risky. Oh,
yeah, that's rough.
Oh, that loses you so much time as well because that cutscene takes a while.
Yeah, does Boogie come back or do you have to reload the level?
No,
oh, she comes back. Okay.
No, she comes back. But you get to skip the cutscene. Oh my God, where are you going, young man? Where are you going? Okay, you're going. Yep. Okay. Yep. Go up the stairs. Go up the stairs, please. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. And then you jump now. Yes. Hit right trigger.
That'll do.
Let's go. Fucking go. All right. It's got 2 squares. Let's go, Kev.
Okay, so Boogie locked in, air still available in Kibo, but this does now reveal that Kev is in Kogane, with Nae having picked up FRZ, oh not FRZ, sorry, SDPP grind.
He's doing it this way. Alright, that's cool.
They're gonna pick up.
He definitely learned that from Krabby. He definitely learned that jump from Krabby. Jumping on the ceiling on the left, or the roof on the left, that he did not know about that before. Like,
is Nae committing to this graffiti, or are they just pre-spraying while they? I think they're just leaving now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they were just covering stuff on that side of the map so they don't have to go back there. I think that's fine. I'm curious to see where they go now though, because they know that Kev is in Kogane, so I would imagine they're just gonna leave Kev to do that FRZ graffiti that's threatened, and just go and do other stuff.
I mean, they have so much freedom of movement now. Like, it's actually ridiculous how much freedom of movement they now got. Nice points unlocked just for the. That was definitely.
That's a really good way of unlocking points.
I'm not sure. I don't think that was intentional, but also cool shit.
They're still in SDPP.
I mean, you could just pick up all the souls and pre-spray stuff, but because I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it.
Yeah.
It just feels very. Honestly,
it is center square, so.
Kind of feels like Nae's playing their own game, right? Like, they're not necessarily concerned with what Kev is doing. They're just putting the pieces in place so that they can win the game.
I mean, Nae, like, because
was that tricks unlock on the way to the soul by Nae?
Yeah, that was tricks.
That's so good.
But, like, there are just so, like, because you know that, like, that Kev probably conceivably won't go for, like, graffitis, it just means that you, like, you can do so much. You can just, like, put up a bunch of bingos that all line up with graffitis, and then suddenly, like, Kev is, like,
yeah, I mean, I kind of expected this from Nae, like, just to force Kev into doing graffiti that he doesn't want to do. And obviously the early game was really rough for Kev, just getting sniped to a bunch of stuff. But, you know, even if that hadn't happened...
Oh, where's he go? Oh, okay. I mean...
was this intentional by Kev?
Oh my god,
Does he need to be here?
Oh my god, he almost soft-locked.
He's getting air right now. What is air spawn? Not this deep, buddy. That's special you're looking for. Or, sorry, points.
Back. I thought for a second that he would, like... I was concerned because I thought he was falling into, like, the points thing. Like, the ladder, the weird corner where you can just get stuck after stall launching. But, like, okay, it's all good. It's all good. I know he knows where Air 4 is, but I guess he only knows the visual and not, like, the actual, like, location in space.
Yeah, that's the thing about Kibo is there are a couple souls that spawn in areas that look very similar if you don't have, like, specific knowledge of which is which.
Yeah.
You know, which hole do I go down? You know, there's a lot of random holes in buildings in Kibo. that out of bounds that he did to get deeper in the level was really cool, and would have been, I imagine, slightly faster if he'd gone the right way off the bat.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does run the risk of soft locking, which is always scary.
No, I saw him do this before. This is not the hole you're looking for. You're looking for the next hole. The one back here. Yeah, this one. You jump straight into it. Yeah. No. Oh, he accidentally quick
That's a turn that you didn't want.
Yeah, he quick turned by accident. He did not mean to do that. Okay, does he know how to go from this direction? Because this is the way you go. Usually, if you're doing bingo, you don't approach it from this side. Okay, he does. This is the way you approach it if you're playing NPG. I overshot almost. All right. What's Nay doing? Sky Dino, platform first swing, and picking up points.
Yeah, this game has gone a lot smoother for Nay, just getting kind of a strong start off the bat this time around.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I mean, game 1 was, I go to Kogane, I take everything in Kogane, and Kev was like, okay, what are the least possible squares that I can take to minimalize the threat of Nay sweeping Kogane? And he did very well in doing that. Kev, there's literally nothing for you here. Welcome to the back rooms. Kibo is a bad level, and I will not take criticism on that statement, by the way.
Where is he going?
He's entirely lost.
Oh, he found one of these like weird unused hallways.
But yeah, that's yep. That's Kibo. That's great level design.
He picked up air though, right? Like, what is he trying to do now? Graffiti?
Is he just trying to leave the level, or
is
he doing graffiti?
Warp. Does he not know he could just death warp? Oh, he doesn't.
I mean, he's low-ish on health. Yeah, he doesn't have enough health to double death warp.
Is Grind on the board? There's Kibo Grind? Oh,
Kibo Grind is on the board. I don't know if he has it unlocked.
Okay, so Kibo Grind is like, I guess, a kind of dumb soul in the sense that it's like in one of the nondescript holes.
Yeah, especially.
And the map does not help you. The map will not save you.
Kibo is a rough area to go to, I think, when you just don't know the area fully.
Also, that jump did not save him.
Got the health buddy. Yeah, okay, he's fine.
He just leaves. Okay, fair. Oh, no? What is he trying to do?
So...
Oh.
Kev's just having some real movement issues right now.
That pull is dumb. That pull is dumb. I do not blame him for that. These pulls are very stupid. Those are the worst things ever.
So checking in on Nay, they are back in SDPP graffiti time, I guess.
Oh no.
This is a very weird game.
Nay just jumped into the wall and then just is now standing still. Nay? Nay?
Oh, Kev's calling it.
Kev is asking, can I just resign? I'm tired and want to go to bed. Well,
that's a shame.
It's GG, I guess. So
it is
congratulations
GG
to Nay for winning their first match.
Yeah, first win of the tournament for Nay.
Gonna go 1-1.
In somewhat unexpected fashion. I don't think we expected this to play out exactly how it did. I mean, I think we can say like expected result, unexpected way of getting
method.
there.
Yes.
Yeah. But that was it was a much stronger game 2 opening there for Nay, and they definitely ran with that all the way to the bank. But Kev put on a really good show in game 1, and I think there's still hope for him as the tournament goes on. He has 1 game remaining, I believe. He is playing versus Ace Bats. So, you know, still a chance for him to pick up a win at some point in the future. Nay has a couple more games remaining versus Nago and Krabby, which is intimidating, to be sure. Still definitely a shot at playoffs left for Nay. That's the game. So, I don't know if we have interviews. I don't think we're going to get either, because I think Kev is literally going to bed. Oh no, Kev does want to come in. Okay, we'll have Kev.
Sure. As long as he doesn't say anything bad.
Welcome, Kev.
Hello.
What's up?
Can you guys hear me clearly? I'm not using the...
Yes.
Yeah, you're fine.
So, oh my god, did you see that first game? I mean, you did.
Game 1 was solid. Yeah.
Oh, that was amazing. My theory is because what do you call it? Nay and Ace? Yeah, Nay and Bats are like kind of close in skill level, right? If I put in a little bit more practice, and since I got close to beating Nay, I could probably, maybe, I mean, Bats is going to disagree, but I could probably beat Bats.
Yes.
I think that there is a chance. The way that you played game 1, I think, was really smart.
Yeah.
I said on commentary, I think that works against Nay specifically. I'm not sure it works as well against Bats. But just kind of intelligently looking at the board and thinking, what are the least amount of squares I need to pick up to not get bingoed on, was a really smart way of playing the game. Because, you know, Nay was in Kogane for a lot of time in that game, and you kind of very quickly, with a couple of squares, snuffed out any bingo threats that they could have set up. So it was a smart way of not losing the game immediately. I think you just got kind of got ruined by the graffiti routes that were on the board, and then game 2 was a similar situation of it just being some really rough graffiti routes that you would have had to do at some point. But yeah, I think the strategy was quite sound, and a bit more practice, you might have a shot.
Yeah.
I'm sure Bats will have well, I'm sure Bats will have things to say about that, but only time will tell.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just super happy about that. Like, I mean, it's sort of like facing games. Like, you have to play a lot to begin with to be able to have fun. And I think I've gotten through the majority of that play. But, I mean, that's just my hot take.
I think the thing about bingo is...
If you're having fun, then you're having fun. So then you clearly have.
Yeah, I mean, game 1 I think was a really good showing of a sound strategic mind, and I think once you've got a bit more in the way of like game knowledge and practice, it could be really good for you. So yeah, just keep on practicing.
I love the phrase "sound strategic mind," as if bad strategy means you are like deranged.
I mean, we've seen some games this season.
I mean, that's true. You know what? Actually, I take back what I said. That actually is fully accurate.
I think me and Sully, like the only newcomers, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
And we don't get to play each other, so I don't get to have awesome actions in the tournament. But,
I mean, technically, there's still a chance you could meet in playoffs, but you've got to get to playoffs.
That's true.
Or we could have a show match.
We could also have a show match.
Yeah. I don't know how much practice stuff Sultan's been doing. I don't know what he's up to, but yeah.
He seems to have done a decent amount of practice because he seems to be like vaguely comfortable doing graffiti routes and stuff.
Salty looked pretty good in both of his games. Just kind of rough, just rough games. I think they were, but like particularly his last match, he looked really strong. So there are still more bingo to come. Yeah. There are still more bingo to come this week. We have Darth versus Salty. In fact, they're both these matches are on Sunday for me, but technically it will be Saturday evening for the Americans, the Darth versus Salty match, and then on Sunday, at a more reasonable hour for us Europeans, is the Nago versus Krabby match.
You know what I just realized?
Really interesting.
You know, I just realized we're never gonna have a Kev Daft game.
Again, show matches are a thing.
I want a Kev Daft game so badly. You don't understand.
This can be organized, I'm sure. Can I talk about one more thing? That Highway Zero play. I think Rumi mentioned in chat. I had the biggest brain idea ever. I do Highway Zero points, and it would freak out because I can get column 1 bingo. And go to Dogen points, right? But I'd snipe her to Dogen points, and then I'd go get Highway Zero Soda, get Bingo. I think that would be a pretty good shout. I think I would have basically won, maybe, I'm not sure.
If you got that, you would have won.
Yeah, if you got the bingo, you would have been set up to win.
Yeah, that would have been basic. You would have only had to get one of the sewer squares, and then you would have won.
But
yeah, at that point it's a coin flip.
Yeah. The problem is, like, if I snipe Nae to Dogen, and Nae's like in the middle of doing it, they're closer to they're closer to Highway Zero.
That's literally
they're
what
just
happened,
gonna win.
right?
And
that's pretty much what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, damn. Yeah. So I just went to Kage and Graffiti. So yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us, Kev. More bingo to be had in the future. We're gonna go because I am hungry. We'll see you all soon for more bingo.
Yeah.